First and foremost would be property insurance. We're seeing property insurance premiums continue to rise in the state of Florida. We're seeing here in the state of Florida, in the capital, in fact, legislation that, in my opinion, would increase premiums to the point where many people will lose their homes. There are two bills. One that would increase premiums on those who have citizens property insurance by 25% a year. Most of the people in my district, in fact, most of the people throughout the state could never afford that type of an increase. We have another bill that would take away a lot of the sinkhole coverage and other types of coverage that insurance premiums are paid for. That would be taken away from those homeowners. These are bad consumer bills. There's also another bill out there that would allow the private utility companies, the electric companies, to impose a tax, if you will, on every ratepayer in the state, that they wouldn't have to go through the Public Service Commission. There would be no public hearings, and the homeowner, the ratepayer, would see an increase in their electric bill they can not afford.
Let's go back to the citizens
Sure.
issue for a second. The proponents of that legislation say that you need to do that because the citizens' rates are artificially low.
Yes.
And there's a need to create a private market
Yes.
to attract other providers. What's your answer to that?
Well, that's the argument they've been using for years. The private insurance companies have told the legislature year after year, if we were to spend or pass this legislation or pass this amendment, they would come back into the market and offer, again, property insurance coverage. They're not doing that. We have passed legislation. We have increased premiums. We've allowed the private companies to have a little more ability to be free in as far as charging rates, and yet they're not coming back to the state of Florida. We now need to protect the consumer. The property insurance companies, in my opinion, have neglected their responsibility. They want to cherry pick. They want to choose where they'll sell property insurance, and because of that, Citizens continues to grow. It's now the largest insurer in the state of Florida. It's a quasi-governmental entity, and yet it's the largest insurer in the state of Florida, and it continues to grow because the private insurers don't want to insure risky areas. Well, guess what? The entire state is a risky area when it comes to wind, and it's hurting people along the coast. Premiums continue to rise, and the availability of insurance in the private sector diminishes.